everybody, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. People make mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And if the mistake is bad enough, sometimes we have to retract them or at least take ownership of them. And that's what this video is going to be today. Is I said some things about the business practices of TacPack that has come to my attention were wrong, and the things I said could potentially hurt their business. And I've always taken pride in being as honest as I possibly can with you guys, and part of that is taking responsibility for things that I've said that were very wrong. Now, I have talked a ton of smack about a ton of companies and a ton of products on this channel, and some companies won't work with me because of it, because not all companies in the gun space appreciate honesty, and not all viewers appreciate honesty either. But that's oftentimes just opinionated stuff, and in this case, it was me talking about their business practices that was untrue that I do need to rectify. So if you just want to see what's in this box, this is being April 2026, if you just want to see what's in this box, somewhere here will be a timestamp for you to go to in case you have just TikTok brain length attention span. But I do want to talk about what I said and how I ended up with this for a couple of minutes. The last TacPack video you saw of mine has, I don't know, I think somewhere between 30 and 40,000 views right now, which is quite good for my channel. In that, I gave my opinion about what was in the pack, which TacPack had zero problem with. When I talked to them on the phone, I talked to the owner of TacPack on the phone for about 2 hours, and just short of 2 hours, and he was very welcoming of the criticism of what's in the pack, my opinion of the pack, and everybody takes subscription boxes a little differently on how they look at it. I look at them in a sense of how much stuff is in here that the average person is realistically going to use on a somewhat normal or frequent basis. Other people, including TacPack, because they have to as a company, look at raw value. They want to put usability stuff in there, but from a business perspective, it's still a raw value, a raw value thing. And some people out there, some of you guys, also look at it as raw value. That even if there's 10 things in here, and 2 of them on the retail side cost more than what you paid for the pack, then to you it was worth it. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. In my last TacPack video, I said that TacPack bills you a couple of days after you receive your box, which I thought was very shady and so on, because like me, I've had this box for a week now, 5-6 days now, and I haven't opened it yet. I've been at an event for 4 days and haven't had a chance to open it yet. Some of you may work on the road and not home for 3-4 days at a time. Some of you may work shifts where you're 3 days on, 2 days off, whatever. But nonetheless, that I said that TacPack's billing cycle and when you get it are so close together that it doesn't give you time to decide whether or not you like. I want to make sure I'm not giving you my address. It doesn't give you enough time to make sure if you don't like this to cancel it, to cancel your subscription. That it's guaranteeing them a second order from you. You'll get billed and you're like, damn it, I didn't want to get billed again, but I'll just take this box. And then you go through and cancel the subscription. They reached out to me on Instagram. TacPack reached out to me on Instagram. It took a minute, it took a few weeks for us to actually be able to meet up on the phone and talk. He went very in depth into their business practices, their billing cycles, their fulfillment cycles, how they treat their fulfillment cycles and billing cycles being, for instance, they try to give as much time to get as many orders in to then have enough time to fulfill all orders as well before the next billing cycle. That is one of the things that have plagued them as they've grown, which I can understand that. If you're a monthly subscription box, you have a couple of choices. Cut off orders, right? Just cut off orders, ignore not taking orders past, say, the 15th of the month or something like that, which means you miss out on potentially another week of orders and sales. I don't have the answer for the best practices for that. What I do know is that I believe him when he says that's not an intentionally shady thing, that when TacPack, you get your order, you're then there a couple days afterwards, shortly billed. It is not meant to rob people of another order or anything like that. It is basically the furthest apart they've been able to realistically cut off orders for that month and still be able to fulfill them, because they're fulfilling them as the month goes, but they can only fulfill them so fast. But to fulfill them to the point where the next order then, or the next month's order then starts happening. And I believe him. I believe him. Seems like a hell of a nice guy. Seems very honest. We had a lot of conversations about YouTube, how YouTube screws over gun channels. We had a lot of talk about other subscription boxes, because I've had my opinions about other subscription boxes. In our conversation, I compared some of TacPack stuff to others. And we also had a very good conversation about other influencers that do TacPack ads. And something that I did not realize, that many or most of these ads are not paid for directly by TacPack. They're paid for by a marketing firm. So when a certain, and you guys all named them. I didn't name any names in that video. You guys in the comments section named them. But a certain YouTuber doing a congressional run pulls out half of an AR of out of a TacPack box, as if that's what you can expect out of a singular box. It is my opinion, and what I sort of felt, the vibe I got off of the owner of TacPack, that he does not like that sort of ad either, because it is not realistic to what you're going to be getting even out of the highest paid for box. He did say that every ad, as far as he knows, is sent out with an ad sheet. I've received these sheets from other companies before that are sort of talking points, sometimes company information, like how the company started and things like that. A little bit behind the scenes for you guys here. I've never received one that, or had a company say that I had to say something good, or I had to say a particular thing, but it was talking points. It was, this is the material it's made of, this is how our testing went, this is the history of the company, things like that. So just know that whenever you hear an ad, it's probably being read off of a sheet like that. So at the end of the phone conversation, he said he would start sending me boxes. It was not something that was an intentional thing. At the beginning of the conversation, he said he appreciates the honest feedback. He said he appreciated my feedback of the first video, as bad as it was about some of the things. And so this is the box that he sent me. This is April 2026, and I don't know if I'm going to get another one. We didn't discuss frequency, rate, or how long this would go on. I did tell him that I wanted to tell you guys I was wrong, though. And I think the best way to tell you I was wrong was to be able to do another unboxing. And I'm going to give you my brutally honest opinion, as always, about whatever's in here. But more importantly than what's in here, I needed to set the record straight about things I said about a company that were untrue. All right, here we go. The unboxing. This is April 2026. I think this is their highest tier package. I do believe. There's a card in here. I think it'll tell me. I do believe this is their highest tier package. On a side note, the event that I was at, that I told you in the first part of this video, was the gear event from Gun Owners of America. If you don't know about it, you should, and go check out gear on Instagram and whatnot. So first things, so this looks like it has the surprise package in it. This is the April TacPack. Okay, so this is the TacPack Plus. Not going to look at the card. I just wanted to know which one it was. So the very first thing I'm seeing here is a AXMB Aeronox. So this is an Aeronox muzzle brake. Aeronox muzzle brake. And it looks like it is... Oh, it's cool looking. Oh, and this looks like it's Plan B. Does it say? Plan B thread. Yeah, so it looks like it's Plan B. So, good for me that this is Plan B. Tell me it is half by 28. Yeah, 223, half by 28. Something I said to the owner of TacPack was, in the box that I opened 2 boxes ago, it had a dead air muzzle brake in it from, I don't remember what company. And I said, that's great. Or no, sorry, dead air flash hider. I said, that's great if you have dead air. If not, now the most expensive thing in your box, you can't use. you have no use for. You're going to give it away, like I did, to a buddy who runs Dead Air. I run Plan B. I don't think that. I think this was absolutely a happy accident that this is also Plan B. But so this looks like, yeah, this is a directional brake, so it's not a radial brake. Plan B mountable, has this cool bronze coating on it. So for me, this is good. For you, this may be a very expensive brake that you can't use. Next thing is, another X-Tech. Here was X-Tech in the last one. I am friends with X-Tech and Jeremy, and this is a loader of some sort. So yeah, this looks like this fixes the Glock loader. So the Glock loader, the one that comes with the Glock pistols, is an absolute piece of garbage. This is a simple version where it looks like it, down, push the bullet in, up, down, push the bullet in. Pretty self-explanatory. And here I am reading the directions like I didn't already know. Yeah, so that is that. I'm a big fan of suck it up, buttercup, and use your thumbs. I haven't used this, so I can't say much about it. But like I said in the last video, I'm never gonna not support X-Tech stuff. They have good stuff. Is this the most useful for everybody? Depends on what it Glock. This is G1 compatibility list: Beretta, PX4, Glock 17, 19, 26, 34, 45, HKV P9, P30, PSA Dagger, which takes Glock mags, Springfield Echelon, and of course all the Glock clones, X-Tech mags themselves, KCI, things like that. So this is better. At least it's not like Glock specific. This is better that it at least has, it looks like any mag that's roughly that thickness and that depth of a G19 or of a 9mm size would probably work. So that's okay. I think that opens it up to a larger audience. Here is this Aeronox again. Never heard of an Aeronox. I'm going to have to look them up. This is an ambi safety. What do we got here? Okay, so Aeronox. So, this is a short one in case you want one on your safety side. In case you want a short one and a long one. So, ambi safety with a short throw lever for one of the two sides. Cool. This brings me also, though, including this, right? Including this also brings me into something that I have said about the other boxes. That if this particular part, and ambi safety, not just Aeronox, but this particular safety, this is the difference between rating these boxes off of raw value and off of what I would consider to be like the average guy putting together a rifle. If you want an ambi safety, you've already bought one. You're not going to wait for a TacPack or a gearbox or a battle box or a boom box or whatever the hell is out there anymore to send you either a really nice one or one that you want. If you're in the middle of building a rifle. If you're in the middle of building a rifle, you probably bought the lower parts kit, grip, and all that stuff, along with the ambi safety that you want. So this is cool. If you don't have an ambi safety, you've never really wanted to spend the money on one, and then you get something like this, and you have a single-sided like mil-spec safety in your rifle, super useful. If you're somebody putting together a rifle, this came a month or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months too late. So that's my opinion about these parts, and for everything, these parts. This is high-speed gear. These are awesome. I think most people get a use out of something like this. It's probably not the most expensive thing in here. These are great mag pouches. These are some of the best mag pouches, in my opinion, on the market. They're the HSGI tacos, the ones that are cloth that have this retention system inside the cloth, inside the nylon, are very good as well. These are some of my favorite pistol mag pouches on the market, period. So from a bias standpoint, this is awesome. From a standpoint of your everyday user, most people aren't going to conceal carry something like this. If you want a mag pouch that, just to go out to the range with, this is a singular mag pouch you can put on your belt real quick. However, if you're somebody that is building out or already built out a war belt, you probably already have one of these, and so at best this is a spare. It does add value because HSGI stuff is not inexpensive. It does add value, but largely it's something, for me, that's going to get thrown on a shelf and forgotten about because I already have 4 war belts and they're already decked out. And I think that if you're in the middle of building a war belt, you've probably already picked your mag pouches. And one mag pouch isn't enough for you to sit down and unlace that molly. If this was a 2 mag pouch, because oftentimes people run 2 pistol and 1 rifle. If this was 2 mag pouches, the story becomes different, because now they're 2 of the nicest mag pouches on the market, and whatever you bought off of Amazon that is objectively of far lower quality than these, it's enough to sit down, unlace those, and put these 2, if there was 2 of them, on. Stickers, I don't care about stickers. I know a lot of you guys do. I don't. I throw them on my toolbox. This is AR Man and the blasters of the universe. And then there's this Infinite Defense Self-Healing Rabbit Plinking Target. If you guys don't know who Infinite Defense is, they make self-healing rubberized targets. They've been in my videos many times. This is cool. I think this is, of everything so far, I think this is the most useful to the average person. Unless you're one of those unfortunate people stuck at like private indoor ranges that wouldn't allow you to put something like this up. But if you're anything like me and you have free range of the desert, or you have a whole bunch of land of your private property, or the range that you belong to is an outdoor range, I think this so far is the best for the everyday person. It does not make up for the price of the pack, but as far as usability, this is definitely the best for I think the average person. Now, whatever this is, I think I know what it is. I hope I know what it is, because if it's a different company, I'm going to be so upset. I can already tell that this is a EDC ratchet belt. This says Unhinged Ops EDC. Oh, it's already telling me what it is. So it's not Core Essentials. It's a company that decided to copy Core Essentials. That's upsetting. And they didn't even do a good job at it. So this is a ratchet belt. If me talking about Core Essentials wasn't enough. It even has the same looking release lever as Core. So this is basically a copy of Core Essentials belt, but not a good copy. The tab here is thinner, or the little keeper is thinner. It's, I mean, almost a direct copy, except for it's considerably thinner and not as stiff. Now, what I will say is that if you don't know if you want to buy a good belt like Core Essentials, this is a good one for you to decide whether or not you like the ratchet system. This is not a replacement for the best belt on the market, but it is better than your Levi's belt, leather belt, your Wrangler leather belt, whatever nylon bullshit gay belt that came looped through the pants already that you bought. This is better than every belt you can possibly buy at Walmart or any other clothing store. So that being said, I think for people, I would hope that people who've been carrying for a long time already have a really good belt. So if you're just starting into carrying, this isn't bad. However, I would say that if you got something like this, I would upgrade. I would upgrade to a good belt. This is a mid-level belt at best. It's not very sturdy in comparison to Core's belts. It doesn't have, I mean, I can take my belt in roughly that same, size and go like this and it stands straight out. This clearly does not. And if you don't believe me, I have a bunch of Core Essential belt out there, videos out there. But I think for most people, this would probably do fine. If you're looking for a more rigid belt than the sagging leather belt for work, this will be fine. But for a carry belt, this will be fine, with the intention on upgrading soon. So there's my opinion. I think of all of these, for the average person, this is probably the best, and then the belt for the average, the average shooter, the average gun owner. These are nice, and actually I'll even throw in the mag pouch. But the mag pouch, the muzzle brake, and the safety, which this feels like it's completely made of aluminum. No, this seems made really nice. Those are definitely the items that make it from a raw value standpoint, makes the box worth it. This is one of those fun add-on items. I've never used this, so I can't tell you whether it's trash or not. I should probably fix that so I can actually give my opinion on it. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, load it. Nope. That can't be right. Nope. Place loader over magazine with flex arm at the front, push down on the loader and insert the round, blah, blah, blah. Right, so you do that, and then as it comes up, you then push it back, and then back down, and back up, and push it back. Why, that seems overly complicated. Okay, I now have an opinion on this loader. I have it in there as far as I can get it. No, fuck this loader. So I hate to say it, Jeremy, but this thing's a piece of shit. Yeah, so the loader is an absolute fail in my opinion. But as far as raw value, I think these things probably make up the raw value of the thing. As far as realism, whatever the everyday person could probably use the most. These, have I changed my opinion on subscription boxes? No, I have not. I think subscription boxes are a gamble. I think that, like I was saying about the safety selector, that if you're building a gun, you probably already bought the parts. So these packages are made for people who either like the monthly surprise and likes giving stuff away to people that is completely useless to them, which for me, this time happens to be, this is the one thing, like this is really the one thing in here that I can use, that I have an immediate use for. The rest of this stuff is going to, but by the way, the entire last box is still put back in the box and is sitting under my bed right now. I've not used a thing from that box since I opened it. Yeah, my opinion on subscription boxes is, if you have the money and want to take the gamble, go for it. I think from a realistic user point of view of somebody who's going to get the most use out of the box, as far as like the average person, probably not worth it. Somebody who happens to stumble across something they can use, that box might have been worth it for you. The next box might not be. So that's the gamble part. So really my opinion of subscription boxes, all this aside, hasn't changed. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember to hit all notifications so you can get more videos from me if YouTube actually decides to do their job and notify you. Let's face it, we know they won't. I appreciate TacPack sending this out to me. More so, I appreciate TacPack reaching out to me to have that 2-hour phone conversation. I could care less about all the stuff sitting on my tailgate in front of me. I bring you guys the most honest views I possibly can on guns, gear, equipment, and companies. And when I say something that is so wrong about a company, or any piece of equipment or something like that, but I say something that is so wrong like that, I want to be put in my place. I don't want to make retraction videos or like apology videos. I don't want to make those, but I have to keep that honesty going. So thank you to TacPack for reaching out about the things that I said, about your business, instead of some other companies would just choose to press lawsuits. So thank you for that. Thank you guys out there for watching, and we'll talk to you later.